What if I take the latest Meepo Hurricane, the top-of-the-line ultra-premium electric skateboard from Meepo, and say let's remove all the costly, fancy components and only keep the core of what makes the Hurricane great, such as the powerful motors and reliable monocell batteries, to create a core version of the Hurricane that still retains nearly all the positive attributes, but is much, much cheaper. Enter the City Rider 3, where premium performance meets ultra value. Let's take a deeper dive and see why you should add this amazing board to your collection. One of the key features that set the Meepo City Rider 3 apart is its 6-inch diameter honeycomb airless tires. In my opinion, this is the ideal size for all-terrain wheels. Any smaller, and the ride could become uncomfortably bumpy on certain road surfaces. These 6-inch tires deliver excellent acceleration while maintaining a high level of comfort. The airless tires surprisingly perform on par with my pneumatic tires, offering quiet, smooth, and grippy rides. I used to be skeptical about airless tires, assuming they'd provide a hard and jolting ride. I'm thrilled to say that this isn't the case at all. I've truly enjoyed the experience so far. Plus, the convenience of not having to worry about flat tires or carrying spare ones is an unbeatable advantage. After testing out the AT wheels, I swapped them out for the Cloud Wheel Rover. Acceleration instantly increased by what feels like 50% boost at the highest gear. Best of all, the clearance is still top-notch. I'm going over bumps in the road that's known to scratch the underside of the board, and so far the City Rider 3 is in pristine condition. The City Rider 3 is well suited to quickly change to any wheels you want, from Meepo Donut wheels to Momentum Halo wheels to the Cloud Wheel Rovers. It makes this board a versatile beast on urban streets and on off-road trails. The City Rider 3 also uses the same remote as the Meepo Hurricane Vader, which is the M4S remote. Personally, I prefer the remote on the Voyager, which is the V5S, because it's smaller and fits into my hands better. But the M4S gets the job done. Both the premium Hurricane Vader and the City Rider 3 use the same 6374 motors and are powered by 12S Monocell P42A batteries. The only difference is that the City Rider 3 uses a 12S3P, whereas the Hurricane uses a 12S4P configuration, just slightly more capacity. The City Rider also is strictly belt-driven, but in my opinion, I really don't feel much difference between a well-tuned belt drive board and a gear drive system. Other than that, this board is pretty powerful, especially on smaller wheels. On the airless AT wheels, the lower RPMs feel softer due to the larger wheel diameter, but kicks into high gear once you reach 10 to 15 miles per hour. Also, the operations have been extra smooth for me, maybe because the wheels I've been using are bigger than what I'm typically used to. But yes, this board is not jerky and is very well tuned. The City Rider 3 shares the same trucks with its higher-tier sibling, the Hurricane. This similarity solidifies my belief that the City Rider 3 performs as effectively as its more expensive counterpart. While these trucks from Meepo might not be the most stylish on the market, they are reliable and have proven their worth. They strike a great balance between stability and turning responsiveness, ensuring a smooth and controlled ride every time. If you look at the bottom of the board, the enclosure stands out. Because it's a one continuous piece, this non-flexible enclosure makes the board extremely stiff, which brings an insane amount of stability to the City Rider 3. I can easily hit 28 miles per hour and still feel confident enough to go faster. The board flexes just enough to absorb most of the road vibrations, but stiff enough for you to go into hyperspeed. Well, if the board is super stiff, how does it carve? With some tuning and bushing swapping, the City Rider 3 can carve just as confidently thanks to the double kingpin trucks. I swapped out all of the stock bushings and added extra stiff Venom barrel bushing on the board side for extra responsiveness. Then I added much softer barrel bushings on the road side. The result is a hyper-responsive carver. I am extremely impressed at how well the board can carve with such a stiff deck. I also highly recommend everyone to upgrade bushings once you get your board. They will make a huge difference. the stock bushing for some reason just isn't very responsive. See here, I am on stock bushings, and I am doing some quick jabbing left and right, and the board keeps going straight and isn't very responsive unless I lean hard into the board. So there is effectively a dead space on the board for turning if you use the stock bushing setup. But here, once I swapped out the bushings, it then becomes really responsive to my command inputs. Despite its name, the City Rider 3, it's not limited to just city streets. It's adept at conquering all kinds of terrain, from dirt paths and grassy areas to hilly inclines. This board is truly versatile. The added benefit of its airless tires is the peace of mind they offer. There's no fear of getting a flat tire mid-ride. This convenience eliminates the need to lug around spare tires or tire patch kits on your adventures. I'm a big fan of angular designs, and the City Rider 3 delivers. The board concaves, but not as aggressively, so your feet don't get sore after just a few miles. The City Rider 3 also sports a clear grip tape, which definitely makes it stand out from the crowd. Plus, from my experience with these see-through grip tapes, they are definitely harder to get dirty. Most of the time, my grip tapes would get dirty really quickly. But with these clear grip types, it's retained that new look for longer. Overall, I think the City Rider 3's design is both aggressively good-looking as well as functional best of both worlds. The board has an impressive ground clearance even with smaller wheels. Once you put on the cloud wheels, the underside stays perfectly untouched, showing zero scratches. In contrast, using boards like the Backfire Zealot X results in noticeable damage to the trucks even after just one ride. In my view, the City Rider 3 directly competes with last year's Wowgo AT2 Plus. They share a lot in common, including design and dimensions. But the newer City Rider 3 edges out the competition with its more powerful 3,500 watt motors compared to the AT2 Plus's 2,100 watt motors. Moreover, the City Rider charges faster at 3 hours and is equipped with airless AT tires, allowing you more uninterrupted ride time. I'll be doing a direct comparison test for both of these boards. Make sure you are subscribed and ring that notification bell so you won't miss that review coming up. The City Rider 3 is equipped with Meepo's 4.5 amp fast charger, which fully powers the board in just 3 hours. Conveniently, this charger uses the same plug type as the Meepo Voyager and Flow. So, if you own any of these 3 boards, you can interchangeably use the same charger. But in the Meepo's own lineup, where does the City Rider stand? Like what we discussed, it's one step below the Meepo Hurricane series, but still formidable enough to challenge the Voyager. The Voyager is insanely fast, but it's not all-terrain, as it's only reliable on paved roads. But with City Rider 3, at around the same price point, you are getting an all-terrain vehicle that's not going to pop a tire, and it's more than capable enough to own the paved streets as well by changing to smaller wheels at your choosing. If you're eyeing the Meepo Hurricane but don't mind skipping the carbon fiber deck, aluminum wheels, and the gear drive, consider this board as an alternative. By making this choice, you can save roughly around 31% on the cost and get roughly the same performance. In today's world where inflation rises out of control, more price-sensitive riders should take a serious look at the City Rider 3 for the core value it brings to the table. Check out my website if you haven't. This website and Facebook Marketplace is where I sell all my used or review units, sometimes at ultra discounts. You can check out directly on my website or message me, and I can send you a PayPal business invoice. Either way, you will be protected by PayPal, Facebook, or your credit card company, making it safe to purchase these personal electric vehicles from me.